Okay, Nick. I realize there's a no contact clause, but I got a few things I want to say before our match at WrestleMania. So get your ass out here. Alright, before I say what's on my mind, I want to let everyone know that WrestleMania will be the absolute last time we fight one-on-one. No more rematches, no more excuses. When it's over, no nothing. But the question on everyone's mind is, why are we fighting? Well, it all goes back to 2014 when I first started commentating for NCWL. People loved me. They loved my enthusiasm, my humor, pretty much everything. I was getting more popular than you, Nick. And I guess you got jealous. You were always jealous. And that's why you tried to get rid of me. From my first match with Derek at NCWL Pit of Warfare, when the powers that be tried to screw me over, all the way to when I was run over by a car by Bill Gates. You hired him to do it. All because you were sick of me overshadowing you. But if you really think about it, if it wasn't for me, NCWL might not still exist. Those thousands of subscribers you have, they come to see me. Who else could have come up with such crazy ideas, like changing their voice around to make different commentators, or having Stan Podolak be a wannabe Paul Heyman? No one. But you know what? You stole those ideas from me. And when Jennifer came into the picture in 2017, you cast all my good ideas to the side and nearly killed NCWL. And that's when I knew I had to do something I've been training for. In the time I was out nursing my 2015 injuries, I trained to become an actual professional wrestler. And it all became worthwhile when I won the NCWL World Heavyweight title for the first time at NEC Mania 2019. From then on, I knew I wouldn't live in your shadow anymore. But enough talk about your company. I want to talk about all the bad things you've done in my company. Let's start with beating up on Kelly just because she was associated with the Joker. It wasn't her fault. She was just under contract. How about the time you almost tried to permanently injure Seth Rollins on purpose, just because you don't like him? There is no excuse for that, Nick, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Who the hell do you think you are? Well, I'll tell you who you're not. You're definitely not the Nick Gemini that I once knew. You changed from the happy-go-lucky space cowboy of yore to this corporate shell of a man. You let William Regal tell you what to do, and you let Umaga do all your dirty work. You say you've been trained to become a professional wrestler your whole life. Well, so have I. And the last time I beat you, you say it may have been a fluke. That might be true, but I assure you, this time I'm gonna beat you for real. And I've said my piece. But before I let you talk, I just want to let you know that I don't want you to hold back tonight or at WrestleMania. Just like at Raising the Keys 3, I want the real Nick Gemini. Whether it be the space cowboy of old, the dark side of you, or this corporate shell of a man, I want the whole world to know that I beat you at your best. And I think I've said enough. It's your move.
About time I get this off my chest. I've been waiting to reveal this stuff for too long. And Matt, I've got a bone to pick with you, pal. ever since 2014, when you debuted, the fans, well, they liked you better than me. No, I never heard about Nick Gemini being cheered. It was always Matt Giannotti this, Matt Giannotti that. Well, it pissed me off so bad. I had to sit in your shadow as I watched you become more successful than I was. Everybody called me a has-been. As we mentioned before, people accused me of being the CME and NCWL's version of John Cena. And that's when I had to make sure to change up who I was and let the dark side in me come out. And then Matt, I know what you did in the NCWL. You took my ex from me, Sarah Bryant, from Virtua Fighter, and married her. The reason her and I split in mid-2014 was because we had to, she saw the dark side in me when I turned heel, and my view of the Incredible Hulk. But you did that to me, and all it did to me was rub salt in those wounds. I was in a dark place then, but that was a year that I became an icon and made a name for myself by winning the NCWL World Heavyweight title at Survivor Series, even though I didn't have that belt long after that big green bastard, the Hulk, debuted and powerbombed my ass through the ring. And now in CME, and you said before I punched Kelly and beat up Mick Foley, I didn't mean to do that. And I wanted to do something memorable with Mick Foley. And he ought to be used to getting hit upside the head with chairs and thrown off ladders, crashing through tables. And that's for Kelly. She shouldn't have been standing there in my way when I was in that match last year. As far as I'm concerned, it was her fault. But enough about that. That's not why I'm here. And I can't believe it, that somehow I was blamed for something you had did in the NCWL. And I was the scapegoat in that. It could have been career ending for me, but thankfully it wasn't. And another thing I want to point out is, where were you? Where were you in NCWL when I had my ass set on fire by the Black Star Ninja at the NCWL 100,000 subscribers show back January of last year, huh? Where were you as my torso and my legs were caught on fire by that freak? You weren't there. I was screaming for you to help and come out and fight him off, but I just had to lay there, and I suffered third-degree burns all over my legs, and my back, my arms, my head. I could have died out there. And where were you? And I know that you already had a match that night. But another thing is, where were you at the NCWL WrestleMania 35 special last year when I had to face my old enemy, that walking STD whose name shall not be mentioned, that big-titted bitch, whatever her name was, that I can't say. I'll get sued because, you know, when she shot Abby Shuto, killed her off screen. And I had nobody. And where were you when I had nobody to turn to? That was one of the darkest periods I've had in my career. Where were you during my 5 Esme cult? And where were you? Where were you when with Sheriff X of NCWL when he tried stealing my soul with his soul stealer iron claw? I didn't see you there. But I tell you what, I made sure whenever you were attacked, I would be out there and I would save you from the hills jumping you. Now in NCWL, we are still a team, as even though on there. But when we fight in this match, I'm not gonna go easy on you, pal. I'm going to show you what happens when you wrong the Space Cowboy. And while I may not be traveling through the galaxy anymore, I'm still cosmic, pal. And I will hit the orbiter on you and put you down for the 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna show you that this is gonna be one of the biggest matches I've ever had in my career. No holds barred. Anything goes. I'm gonna pull out some moves that I've never even used before. And I'm gonna take every weapon I can find: a steel chair, singing pork cane, sledgehammer, table, ladders, you name it. I'm gonna bring it out in that match, and I will put you through the table. I may even pilmanize you with the chair by wedging it around your ankle and stomping it. It's something I wanted to do to Seth Rollins, to what he did to somebody else I respect, Rey Mysterio. I wanted to make sure Seth Rollins would be crippled for being such a piece of shit. I'll tell you what, Seth Rollins, if you hadn't stopped me, Matt, who knows what I would have done to Seth Rollins in that match. He would still be laying in the hospital bed to this day. Because of you, that didn't happen. I wanted to make him pay. I'll tell you another thing too, and that is the red hour is coming. Red hour.